Hey guys, it's me, and today I am here with a chit chat get ready with me. So if you watched last week's video, then you know that I talked about how did a chit chat get ready with me, where I talked about as to why I had an unexpected hiatus and why I was gone for a while and why none of the videos that I talked about how I was wanting to post in the month of February ever happened. So we're gonna talk about that stuff as well as like a bunch of other things that have just been going on in my life lately. And yeah, we're gonna be doing all that while playing with some makeup today. So the main contenders for the makeup look that I'm gonna be doing today are gonna be particularly these two items, kind of like a third item. The third item is just a bit but it's mainly going to be these first two items. And palette that I'm going to be using, this is the Urban Decay Mini Stoned Vibes palette. This was on sale on Sephora, but it was only available to like get in store for some reason. They had it listed on the site, yet the only way you can actually purchase it is if you went in store to get it, which was very annoying to me. But I wound up checking Urban Decay's site and they actually had this palette on the site in like a little bundle, which was the same bundle that was on Sephora, and like it was to get this palette, a full-size primer potion, and this is just the original formula, and then a full-size 24/7 Collide pencil, and this is in the shade Zero, matte black, but is not like as intense as Perversion. Got all three of these in like a 10 case for $24.50. So yeah, it was on sale. It was a good deal. So I went ahead and got them because I really needed a new eyeshadow primer. And also like the full-size Stone Vibes palette, I've heard a lot of great things about the formula on these marbled shades, which I have swatched. They are really pretty. And we're going to be playing with every single shade in this palette today. It's going to be a very interesting look that we're going to be going for today. And then for lips, this guy is a little sample doodad of a liquid lipstick. I got this from Redeeming Points on Sephora, and it is the Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the shade Audition, and it's just like a little pinky nude type of shade. I didn't select this shade, this is just what they sent me, so I'm glad that it's a type of color that I will actually use. Also, I do want to mention the foundation that I'm going to be using today as well real quick before we start getting into things, because I don't know if I'm going to remember to like tell you guys what all it is that I'm using and when I'm using it. I'm going to be using a combination of these two foundations here. So this is the Anastasia Luminous Foundation. I'm in the shade 140N, and it's almost correct for me. It's almost correct for me. It has a neutral peach undertone, which the peachy tones in it are what works for my skin tone, but the neutral tones in it make it pull a little bit too yellow. And so by mixing it in with this guy, this is the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil in the shade Pale Light. Mixing it in with this guy here corrects it and makes it a lot less yellow. And it doesn't really affect the coverage or the color really that much. It just corrects the undertone, which is really nice. So this is a good combination right here, and I'm going to be using that today. That's what we're going to be doing in terms of makeup, but now let's go ahead and start playing with it. But before we do that, if you guys are new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and also while you're down there, definitely give this video a thumbs up. All my links are down in the description box below, and yeah, let's go ahead and hop on into this. Hopefully I'm going to be okay with filming, because technically I did film yesterday. I filmed the two videos I'm refilming again today, yesterday, but I'm refilming them today just simply because in the chit chat rating with me that I filmed yesterday, although the makeup turned out really good and overall the video turned out really good, I went off on like a tangent for like 15 or 20 minutes on stuff that you guys just do not need to be let in on, and so that's why I'm refilming this today. And the installment of Am I Gonna Buy This for February, a big bit of news just dropped like moments ago in terms of like beauty news, and I want to discuss it and just briefly talk about it. And I don't want to have to wait till next month to talk about it because we're still technically in February as of when I'm filming this video. So, yeah. And by the way, this is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. I got a little deluxe sample from Sephora from redeeming a code. Because it was like, spend $25 and use this code and select one of these 3 moisturizers to choose from. And I chose this guy because I've heard nothing but good things, and I know that this moisturizer is formulated to work best for those of us with dry skin. And I've been using it on and off for like the past, I think about a week or two. I've been using it very sparingly because, I mean, I don't want to run through it super quickly because it's just like, the full size of this is $68. So, but I've been really wanting to try it because I've been wanting to try Tatcha skincare for a long time. And I do like this moisturizer. It is really nice. But I also want to try the water cream, and I want to try that one out as well and see which of the two I like best. I think the water cream is suitable for all skin types, I think, but this one is formulated specifically for normal to dry skin, so I think this one is going to work best for me in general. So let's go ahead and start talking about what all has been happening. So the main reason why I have been gone is like the first thing that I'm going to be talking about, and that is that my dad tested positive for COVID earlier this month. So, well, earlier in February. This video is going to be going up in March. On February 2nd, so like right at the beginning of the month, my dad woke up that morning and he felt as if he was having symptoms of a sinus infection. And in the past, like, my dad has dealt with sinus infections and he would always just ride them out. But I think it was about a year or two ago, he had one and he tried to ride it out, but it lasted a very long time. I think it lasted him about like 2 months because he tried to ride it out. And yeah, he was like, never again. I'm going to start going to a doctor whenever I start noticing it happening. Because a sinus infection is very common for him this time of year. Just like with me, getting a cold is very normal for me. Because for me, whenever there's like a dramatic shift in temperatures or we get hit with a cold snap, like we did that night of like the first going into the second, I will wake up dealing with cold symptoms and it can last a while. But my dad, he woke up that morning having sinus infection symptoms, and I woke up having my cold symptoms. But he went to the doctor, I stayed home because I was just like, this is something I deal with every single year, so I shouldn't really need to worry about anything. It just sucks that those same types of symptoms that I was having were also COVID symptoms. But anyways, my dad goes to the doctor. They diagnose him with a sinus and an ear infection. And then they also do a COVID test on him just to be safe and everything. And so he's isolating while waiting on getting his results, and his results wound up coming back positive. Before any of you guys start freaking out, he's totally fine, and he was totally fine throughout the entire process. My dad was asymptomatic the entire time with having it, which is good. If he didn't test negative until Monday of this week, which today is the 24th, so he tested negative on the 22nd. So it took him 20 days to get to a point where he was in the clear. I talked about this very briefly on like my Instagram and Twitter. So if you follow me on those platforms, then you already know that this was going on. But I talked about it on those platforms, but I didn't talk about it on like my Facebook because I have like friends and family there, and I didn't want to risk like making people worried or upset and then getting bombarded with unnecessary phone calls and messages and comments and whatnot. So I just kept it exclusive to those platforms. I did briefly talk about it also on my music channel with the last video that I posted on there, which was a compilation video showcasing 15 metal bands from France that you might not have heard of. So if you are curious in that, definitely check out my music channel. The link is always down in the description box below. But I also have like end tiles at the end of my videos that'll link you over there as well, which that particular video will be linked in one of those tiles. Also, by the way, if my voice sounds as if it's trying to go out, yesterday was like my first time filming and talking for an extended period of time in like a month. And I also sang for the first time in about a month. So I almost blew my voice out, I think. So yeah, because I've been coughing a lot today. But he was totally fine and asymptomatic all throughout the process. But luckily for him, he was able to work from home. Although I know it very much probably annoyed him a lot having to work from home. Although it definitely had its perks though, because I mean, like, he wouldn't have had to like leave and go to work in early mornings and have to deal with the cold weather and whatnot. So it definitely had its perks, but I know that he's happy to be working in the office again. Me, on the other hand, I still haven't been tested yet. And I'm still debating on whether or not I actually want to get tested or not. And I'm definitely am leaning more towards getting tested because I mean, like, it's a good thing to do just to be safe. But the thing is, though, is that during the entire time that my dad was isolating, I was isolating as well. Because I mean, since we lived together, I also have to be safe and conscious of what all is happening. Now, I was also the one who got sent out to do essential runs, but I mean, I always wear a mask wherever I go. So I was safe and cautious and whatnot, and social distancing and just being safe and whatnot, and just getting in, getting out, and getting home. But because of the fact that we lived together and I was like dealing with symptoms that can like be like related to COVID and whatnot, there is a possibility that I could have gotten it. And I do wish now, looking back at things, that I would have gone to the doctor with my dad that same day to get tested, just to be certain and whatnot, and make sure that it's not just like a fluke situation. But now at this point, like, since we isolated for 3 weeks, we were isolating for 3 weeks, like, the only thing that can really happen is for them to find out that I had it and not that I currently have it. And because of that, that's kind of making me being like, do I really need to go get tested? But at the same time, I know it would probably be best to go get tested. I don't know if I am going to at this point in time. By the time this video goes up, I'll probably would have like made up my mind as to whether or not I am going to get tested. Because like I said, I don't necessarily need to because I was isolating the entire time. Now at this point in time, I'm not contagious even if I did have it. So it would be taking time away from people who do need to get tested and taking time away from people who need like help and whatnot if I were to go get tested just to find out that I don't have it. Especially given that I've been isolating as long as I have been and whatnot. So it's a very interesting situation that I'm in, and I'm not entirely sure how to navigate it. So, but we'll figure things out though. I know some of you might be thinking like, well, what does all this have to do with you not filming? I prefer filming on days like this, where I have the house to myself, because I don't have to worry about whatever it is that I'm doing is disturbing my dad, just like whatever he's doing is disturbing me, because the entire time that he was here, working from home, he had the TV on, and because of the fact that he's been dealing with an ear infection, his hearing isn't that good, so he had the TV blasting. So it's just like, I could clearly hear the TV here in my room, as if I had the TV on in my room. Filming in that type of situation, not the best. Like, I did film like the intro to like that compilation video, but luckily it was during a period of time in which he had like the TV turned down a bit, and I also closed my bedroom door to try to like muffle out some of the sounds, and I also put like background music in the videos on my music channel as well, so it was able to like drown out any outside noise that might have been happening. And then too, I recorded audio. Did I record audio through my cell phone? No, I did. Did I? I can't remember if I recorded audio through my phone or not for that video. I wouldn't be surprised if I did. I can't remember if I did or not because I did that video about 2 weeks ago? A week ago? 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. It's been a minute, okay? time is an illusion, especially when you have to isolate and like dealing with like the whole pandemic and whatnot. The next thing that I want to talk about, this is why I have been very inconsistent like since like December here on my channel, and that is like family related stuff, particularly centered around my sister. Now I'm not gonna go too in depth as in what all was going on with her and everything, but I'll give you like a Cliff Notes version of it because that's stuff I can at least talk about. But my sister, she left her boyfriend, and whom is also the father of their child. The two of them broke up, and she left them, and she got her own place. Now, due to this happening, it wound up making things very unpredictable for all of us, because we're having to like help her out with doing a lot of different things and whatnot, like helping her get moved out of their trailer, helping her get moved into her new apartment, which is about an hour and a half away. Also having to help her out, like I had to help her with some errands here in town and dealing with that stuff, and god, it's just been a lot. Like ever since like the end of November, from the end of November up until like right at the end of January, things were constantly unpredictable because of it. And it was extremely difficult to try to make any sort of plans to do things on my own, to do anything in terms of like filming. I mean, it's easy for me to film for my music channel because like I can crank out like 10 videos for my music channel in like an hour. Whereas with this channel, I can crank out one video in an hour. It does bother me a bit, but at the same time, it's just the nature of things, and there's really not that much that I can do about it. Just super busy all the time, and like having to keep my schedule very open because it's just like at any moment I can get a phone call being like, hey, come help me out and whatnot. So yeah, it just got really chaotic and crazy and so unpredictable, but things seem to be under control now. But as soon as everything got under control, my dad got the ick. So yeah, 2021 has, I don't want to say it has been off to a horrible start, but it's been off to an interesting start. This makeup is like really pretty. It's turning out really pretty. Still, this eye is my bad eye, so it's looking a little bit wonky, but still, it is looking so pretty. That's why my inconsistency really like kicked up big time in like December and January, and then obviously last month. But I am gonna try to build my consistency back up in March. It sounds so weird to be saying that we're going into March already. Videos that I have in mind for what I'm wanting to do to go up in March, besides this one, of course. Hopefully I'm in frame. Let me bring my mirror up here so you guys can see me actually doing my makeup. One of the videos that I am wanting to do in March is a declutter, because I have decluttered some makeup and I'm gonna be decluttering some makeup soon as well. So I'm wanting to do like a declutter and a bit of an empties as well, because I want to include like the items that I've used up that I'm gonna be decluttering. And I'm gonna be decluttering products because like some of the items are just items that I no longer use, or they're just really old and need to be thrown out. So yeah. I also like this morning started thinking about possibly doing like a then versus now makeup again, because I haven't done one of those types of makeup looks in a very long time. And so I'm thinking about possibly doing that. I don't know if I will or not. I might. We'll have to figure it out though. Other videos that I know that I want to do, well, one of them I'm also kind of like back and forth on whether or not I want to do it or not, and that one is talking about my experiences with using Mercari. I kind of want to do another purchase on Mercari before I do a video talking about it, but I do want to do a video discussing my experiences with using Mercari. And if you don't know what Mercari is, it's a selling app. People use it to sell like gently used items for the most part. You'll occasionally find people selling like collector's items and like a discounted price and whatnot. Or you'll find people selling collector's items or in like rare items or even items that are currently available but that sell out really quickly be like jacked up dramatically. It's a really interesting platform to say the least. Currently I've made 3 purchases on it and I want to make another purchase on the app. At the same time I kind of don't, because I'm in like the mindset of like I want to continue trying out this app, but at the same time it's just like one of the items that I got was a makeup item and it was the Subculture palette, and I think I might have gotten like an older one. Like it's the newer formula, like the reformulated version of it. And so it's not the one where like the formula where every influencer was roasting it and like purposefully ruining the palette to show off how powdery it was. But the palette itself, like age-wise, is a bit older. Because I noticed on like some of the shades just, they don't perform the way that you would like them to. And so it's made me a little bit hesitant to like continue buying gently used makeup on there. But at the same time, I kind of still do. It's like both soft and ethereal, but also like dramatic. I like it. At the last video on my list of videos that I'm wanting to do, that I know that I'm going to be doing, is a, what is it called? A clothing haul. I forgot what the damn video was called. I want to do a clothing haul because I haven't done one in a very long time. I haven't talked to you guys about fashion in a very long time. And I want to like change that. I want to do a video where I talk about fashion again. And I've made some fashion purchases recently. And so it's just like, why not talk about them in a video? So that'll be happening soon. Don't know when soon's gonna be though. I'm pretty content with the purchases that I've made. And I don't see myself buying any more clothes anytime soon. It's also not because of the fact that I'm presently on another no-buy, but it's just that with the things that I know that I want to add to my collection, they're not going to be going away anytime soon, or they're presently not available right now. So one of the items that I need to add into my collection is a new heavy jacket, but it's too late to do that because we're going into spring. And spring launches are already happening when it comes to fashion. So I'm going to have to wait till probably next fall to get a new heavy jacket. Which is a bit annoying, but we'll have to make deal with it. My current heavy jacket is still fine. It's just that the zipper broke on it. Like the bit that you grab onto to zip it up and down, that part broke off of it. So yeah, it's more annoying than anything. And going back to me wanting to do like fashion related content again, it's just been really difficult for me to do fashion related content because like fashion is ever changing, and I'm the type of person who struggles with adapting when it comes to fashion. And so I find the things that I like and I stick with those things. And I stick with them for a very long time. Like I have clothes, like I have shirts that I've had since I was in high school. Better yet, I've had like 2 band tees since I was 13. Let's just start talking about what I have been doing lately. So I have been doing a lot of gaming. And I mean a lot of gaming. So I definitely took advantage of the sales that the PSN was having, the PlayStation Network was having, right at the end of the year and at the beginning of the year. Is like they had their holiday sale, and I got a lot of stuff during the holiday sale. I think I got... How many games did I get on the holiday sale? I don't even remember. 2 used PS4 games off of Mercari. In total, I got 13 new game related stuff because I bought like a DLC. I bought a DLC and then like 9 full titles that I got new and everything, both on the PSN and physical. And then I got 4 games that I got through PlayStation Plus. I'm stocked up on games for a while, which I'm very, very happy about. But man, it's a lot. I did 3 pumps of the Luminous Foundation, and then I did that blob there of the tinted moisturizer. And I think that's going to be enough. Now, since like the foundation and the tinted moisturizer are different textures, it is going to affect the texture of the foundation and everything, like the consistency of the product, because the Luminous Foundation is very runny and the NYX is very thick. But it doesn't affect the coverage, and it also doesn't affect the finish, which that's the main thing that I am concerned about, is the finish, really. Not so much the coverage. This combo looks the best on me, so I know it looks very light. I know, I understand, but that is because my face is darker than my neck. So, yeah. And also I got a lot of pinkness in my skin, so it makes my face look a lot darker than my neck, so there's also that. But out of like the 13 new gaming related stuff that I got, or at least like the 12 full games that I got, I've already finished 4. Yes, 4. I've already finished 4 of them. And those 4 that I finished are Soma, which I loved that game so much, but that game is so good. It is such an amazing story and such a great game. It's a survival horror, but it's a very easy horror game to play though. So if you're not the type of person who enjoys horror games, I would actually recommend you play it, because the horror moments of it are very limited. And a lot of the horror is mostly like psychological and done through like dialogue and things that happen in cutscenes and whatnot. It's not generally gameplay. So like the horror only happens in gameplay but a few times throughout the game. And it's also a quick and easy play through as well. I think I finished it in about like maybe like 9 or 10 hours, I think is how long I played it. So it's a quick game to get through. I also played Assassin's Creed Origins, which that was the first Assassin's Creed game that I've ever played, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it a lot more than I thought that I would. Because I know when the game first started, it just drops you into the story and everything, and which caught me off guard a bit. So yeah, but I enjoyed it though. It was great. I put a lot of time into it. I put 74 hours into it, so I definitely liked it. And then I also played and finished Vanquish and Bayonetta. And those games I really enjoyed as well. Vanquish was a very quick and easy playthrough. I finished it in like 5 or 6 hours. Very fast game. And then Bayonetta, I think, took me a bit longer to play it. Especially in some parts of it, because it's just a combat system that I'm not used to. It's a very different type of combat system, and it's very fast-paced. And those types of games, I tend to not do very well at, so it was a bit of a struggle, but I still loved it. Bayonetta is just such a great story. Other games that I purchased, though, the DLC that I purchased was the Arden episode for, what's it called? Final Fantasy 15. Because it didn't come with the Royal Edition, which I bought last year during the Big in Japan sale during the summer. I mean, that DLC only cost but $5, so I was totally fine with getting it. Got Tales of Zestiria or Zestria? I can't remember how it's pronounced. But I got it, and I've heard that like the gameplay for it isn't good, but the story is really good. So much to the point where the studio actually went in and adapted it into a full-blown anime. And it's the same story that the game is, it's just that it's in an anime format. So, yeah. And then I also picked up Vampire, which was a game that I got for free during PlayStation Plus when I had a PlayStation Plus membership. I no longer do that. I don't know when I'm going to renew it just yet. It's going to be a little bit of time before I do so. but I got it because it was on sale and I loved that game. So I went ahead and got it. And then same thing goes for the BioShock collection. I got it through PlayStation Plus as well, and I loved it so much, especially Infinite. And that entire collection, which is like all 3 games, full versions of all 3 games for $9.99. So yeah, very happy to have that permanently now. And then let's see, what else did I get? I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I'm currently playing. I think I've put about, I think I'm like close to 40 hours into it, and I don't even know how far into the story I am at this point, because I've been doing a lot of side stuff lately. But I mean, I'm really enjoying it though. Love the fact that there are some queer moments in it when you play as Alexios, and just, I'm so happy about it. Then the 2 physical games that I got, which the day after I ordered those physical copies, those 2 same games went on sale on the PSN for right around the same price that I paid for them. So it's no big deal. And besides, I'm totally happy with having physical copies of them because I love the storylines to the games. I've never played them before and I'm super excited to play them. I'm going to be playing them after I play Odyssey. But those are the Evil Within games. And the Evil Within is another horror series. And it's definitely more horror. But at the same time, I feel like it's more horror adjacent, especially the second game. Because I feel like the first game definitely starts out as a horror game. But then as it goes on, it turns more into like action and like just regular survival and everything, instead of just being like a survival horror, which is why I think that I can actually play it and be able to function while playing it, because I know that there are horror games out there that I know that I cannot play, as the survival aspect of it is just way too intense, like Outlast. Yeah, no. The last thing that's on my list of things I want to talk to you guys about is my hair and my beard. But I'll do that stuff after I do my lips. I'm just scratching this itch using my sponge. Okay, so the lip is on. Looks really nice. It's still drying a little bit, but I mean, it's for the most part dried down already. Or at least the initial dry down has happened. Oh, I need to fix up that lip line. Let me do that real quick. My lip line is really weird right now. But let's talk about the beard and the hair situation. Starting out with the hair because I can get through this very quick and easily. But yeah, this is how many months of new growth? Let's see, October, November, December, January, February. We're approaching 6 months of new growth and it's looking really nice. The color isn't looking that good because I mean, I haven't put any new color in since I did like right before Christmas, so it's definitely faded, but it's still holding up really nicely. Mana Panic definitely revamped the formula on Rockabilly Blue, because I remember when I first used it back when I was 17, it would only last me about 2 weeks before it would wash out of my hair. It's been 2 months. Also, I started like trimming like the sides and the back a lot shorter, just so that way I'm not having to trim it up like multiple times a month. So that's why that's going on. And I'm not going to be doing my roots until June. That's when I'm going to be doing my roots, is in June, because by then my hair should be long enough to where it'll be easier to manage when doing my roots anyways. So yeah, and I also am planning on getting a trim at that point in time as well, because I do have some like damaged ends. I got curious a few days ago and then I decided to straighten it, and I could definitely see like some damaged ends happening. So I'll probably get a trim at that point, if it's long enough though. I might wait till the wedding that I'm going to be going to in October to get the trim, but I'm definitely going to be doing my roots in June though. And I don't know when I'm going to start growing out everything else. It'll probably be after the wedding, or possibly even after Christmas of this year. After Christmas, I think will be when I'll start officially growing out the rest of my hair. So I think that's what's going to be happening. I do plan on making like a full series dedicated to talking about like this new hair growth journey, but it's going to be some time before I start doing that though. And now with the beard, I am going to be trimming up my beard soon. I'm not entirely sure when. It's probably going to be in about 2 weeks when I do it. Don't get me wrong, I love having a fuller beard and a longer beard, I should say, because it's still pretty patchy in these bottom areas because the hair here doesn't grow all the way down. Like, it has stopped growing in some spots. So, yeah, but everything around like the chin and the jawline area is still growing. And I do like the fullness and the length of it. It's just that I kind of want to trim it a bit shorter. Not as short as I was doing before I started growing it out, but I do want to trim it shorter just so I can see if I prefer having this fuller beard or if I like having like something a little bit shorter. So we're gonna figure that out though. That is everything that I have to talk about to you guys though. We talked about like the COVID stuff, the hair stuff, the gaming stuff, the videos that are going to be coming out soon, the things that were going on with my sister. So I got everything covered, and yeah, I really like this eye makeup. This eye makeup is really pretty. It's really pretty, and I like the softness of the face makeup. Like, it's both very glam face makeup, but it's also very soft. So yeah. Anyways, that's enough of me rambling. We've been here for an hour. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, please don't worry too much about us in terms of what happened with the COVID scare. We're doing fine. Like I said, my dad was asymptomatic about it. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to wear a mask, because even if you're safe and taking every single precaution, you can still get it. Because I mean, look at my dad. Like, he wore a mask everywhere he needed to wear a mask at, and was very safe and cautious about things, and he still wound up getting it. Be smart, be safe, look out for yourselves, and wear a mask. And until I see you guys in my next video, whenever the hell that may be, goodbye.